Hello, Divine Soul. I'm Melanie, and this is my sacred space. Today I'm coming to you from my vehicle. I love doing messages in my vehicle. I didn't know I did until recently, and I feel a deep connection as I look around and see the earth and nature and the cars, and everything speaks to me more so when I'm outside. I was given some words of wisdom this morning from Shay, who is a YouTuber that a guide, a source that was brought into my life recently. And what I'm discovering about myself is the connection that I truly do have to Mother Gaia, to this earth. It's quite astounding in so many ways for me. I loved playing outside when I was a little girl. There was so much beauty in it at that time in my life. The little girl loved riding her bike and playing in the mud puddles and finding the worms and picking the flowers. And I remember I was always trying to leave. It was a loving home, but there was so much, it was a lot of chaos at times, a lot of arguing and, the raised voices. So I found my diary that I had started about the age of, 6 or 7. Can't find it now. I looked for it the other night. But in that diary, I had written about, I don't want to be here. There's so much, I just want to run away. And I remember actually running away one time. And I wrote a note out to my parents and I said, I'm going to go see what it's like to live without a roof over my head. My mother claims that I made it to the end of the driveway and made camp in the bushes, and in those bushes lived the fire ants. So it wasn't too long, I was coming back home crying from the fire ant bites. Yeah, I remember that. But, we also, we had gardens where we grew fresh vegetables. And, this was something that I grew up with as a small town country living gal. We did these things, and my grandmother canned her own vegetables and made her own jams and jellies, and it's very special times. I think both of my grandmothers did. My other grandmother, I love her dearly. I have different wounds from her that I'm still processing, but in the active stages of forgiving. But this grandmother, she, they made the famous cast iron skillet biscuits and always had such yummy food. And she was the matriarch of the family that held such standards as far as the upbringing of my sister and I. My mother was of course influenced by her. It was my mother's mother, and she did the influencing for the religious upbringing that I went through. It was a religious sect, a cult that I did not realize was of such. Wearing a cross on my neck like this would be blasphemy. Very segregated way of thinking. They were the truth and the only truth. It was Christianity, but in a formulated way that had such a minimal thought process. You know, you had to stay inside the box. I had to be very prim and proper, and I was raised to be a housewife and a mother. Yeah. I don't know what brought me to this and why I'm talking about this right now, but what I was getting to was the ideas and the inspiration that comes from nature. And now I understand why I lost that beauty, because I lost myself. When you go through abuse and substances and it results with PTSD, traumas that yeah, I would say that was definitely an emergency time in my life. I feel reborn, and that is why I'm here. I just feel like when you let go and you surrender and you move with grace and ease in your life and you give it all up and you just let go. Let go. Forgive. Forgive and let go. The rewards just flow in effortlessly. God, divine creator, the most high source, he provides, and I say he because of my religious upbringing. I learned today that we shouldn't place a pronoun, a gender on source. Man, it's going to take a little work for me, but I'm going to work on that one. Yeah, I'm going to work on that. And I'm also going to work on expanding my knowledge and tap into the spirit guides and angels that are coming into my life at this time to lead me on this next journey. And I cannot wait to discover more. And I know that's why I'm here. To even tap into the Fae and see what's that, the resonance of that, of the Fae, is actually something that deeply strikes my interest. What I want to say is, if this message found you, hold on one second, I don't know who's calling. If this message found you, and it's for you, and you're resonating with what I'm saying, maybe we can explore and learn together. I'd like to learn with you, divine soul. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything. Because essentially you are me and I am you. We are one. And we all have the same mission, is what I'm discovering. We're all here for the same reason. And if we're on the same trajectory, if we're on the same timeline, and you resonate with this, Come along with me. Let's learn. I send you so much love, so much light, so much peace within your heart and your soul and your whole being. Because we are just beings. That's something else I want to expand on. We're not human beings, we're just beings experiencing this human existence. I love it so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.